Ooh boy, it's a hot one today. Anyway, hope you all had a good Memorial weekend, right? Did some fishing with the kids, we went camping and whatnot. Got a cabin down in southern Ohio. Do it every year, a couple times a year. But it's good to get away. My phone doesn't even work there, so it's like, no phone, no internet, no cable. You can watch TV, you're watching DVDs or whatever you got downloaded, right? So, yeah. It's good, gets the kids away from the video games, the internet. We have a good time. So anyway, where do we leave this off at? This little journey we're on into my past, so you guys can see what kind of a fuck I was, right? Oh yeah, I just got out of my first 53 days in jail, and right before I was getting out, my old lady that I was with when I went in, she stopped taking my phone calls. Not really stopped taking them, but she wasn't home to answer them. And she knew what time I was calling. She'd be on the visitation thing. She would call and cancel the visitation. I said, well, this shit's getting weird. Then I'd call her, get a hold of her, and talk to her. I'd never been in jail before. Not like that. Like, maybe a night, day, a couple hours, never made out of holding. Except for the week I did before I went in. That's, before my sentencing. That's the first time I did, any, real time, I guess you could say. It's really, seeing all the time I've done since then, it didn't seem like real time. But anyway, by the time I get home, this bitch, I shouldn't call her that because she's the mother of two of my kids, she had other plans, and I knew something was up when I got home, when she picked me up, and my dick stayed dry. I don't know any other way to put it. It's a little vulgar that way, but come on. But yeah, even when I got out that day, I didn't get out. So the way the jail I was in does it is they start, if that's your out date, but 7:30 in the morning, they start pulling you out of your cell, right? So you're up excited, like, I'm going home, and they're like, yeah, I'm getting out tomorrow, it's my out date, yeah. And they pull you out, take you down to booking, process you out the door you go, Well, I watched this other two dudes that were getting out the same day as me come down, and I sat myself. I said, what the fuck is going on? So I'm waiting, I'm getting nervous. Like, fuck, they ain't calling me? I'm talking to my bunkie, like, this is ridiculous. He's like, nah, man, you're getting out, don't worry about it. I was like, I've been here 2 months almost. I ain't never seen them do this to nobody. Finally, the doors pop for everybody to come out in the day room. And I go right up to the CO sitting behind the desk. Because in this jail, they have a CO sitting behind the desk. Well, I go right up to him, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm supposed to get out today. What's up? He says, let me look into it, right? So he's looking into it. He makes a phone call. He's like, yeah, he says, supposed to get out. Oh, okay, I'll let him know. He says, oh, you got a warrant in North Ridgeville, so they're coming to get you. Like, what? He's like, yeah, sorry. So instead of me going, processing out, and getting in my old lady's car and going home, I had to wait for North Ridgeville to show up, then go get processed out, go into that cruiser handcuffed, go to North Ridgeville City Jail, get processed in there, and then bailed out from there because I had a court date that I missed because I was in jail. How am I supposed to go to court if I'm in jail? Like, really? They could have took me. They take everybody else. But I guess that's the way it is. It's just my luck. So I went there. I got out like, in the afternoon instead of in the morning. So then I go home. Meet up with my little brother. I got my money. I'm like, yeah. Go cash my check that I got from county. Make a couple phone calls, go find something. And we get high. Not the smartest thing to do on your first day out, but hey, that's what I did, Went home, hung out with the kids. I was so excited to see my kids. Like, it was good for about 2 days. Me and her started fighting. I'm like, bitch, I know something's up. You better tell me. She's like, I swear, I'm fucking lying. Like, you can tell when somebody's lying. Fine, I was like, man, I had it with this shit. And this broad, she's crazy. She's not stable. Like, I'm gonna tell you a story when I'm done with this story before we go off here, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Let me tell you something. The dude always doesn't go to jail. So I move out. Right at this time, we lived in this house right around the corner from the house I was living in when all this shit started. Like, I was living on East 33rd Street. We had moved into a house on Homewood, which actually was a duplex. My mom was still in the house on East 33rd Street, which originally when I moved in there, it was just me and my dog. So I moved back into that house, the house on East 33rd Street. And my mom, my brother, my Aunt Lacey was there. I think that was it. My Aunt Lacey and a couple of my cousins, my mom, my little brother. And I got a job. Or I got my job back scrapping drywalls. Like, I just went right back to that. Like, I think I got out on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And I think that very Monday I was right back to work. Like nothing ever happened. It was sweet. It was nice. So, I just kept doing my thing. Getting high, fucking doing shit I'm not supposed to be doing, but I'm doing it. Working every day. And then, a couple months go by. I start doing this other job where I'm like traveling and like doing this cleaning stuff, right? I got a company van, company gas card, kind of like what I'm doing now, but different, right? Well, I get my license back. I'm doing my probation, and it's what do they call it? Intense supervised probation. 5 years of intense supervised probation. I gotta go see the probation officer once a week. I gotta take drug tests once a week. You know what I mean? I can't miss appointments. I gotta do my community service. I did my community service on a garbage truck for a week. Like, I had all this shit I had to do, and I couldn't fuck up, right? So I'm doing this. I'm going to see my PO. I got this good job. Shit's going. It's going, but at the same time, I'm still getting fucked off. You know what I mean? Well, then I meet a couple people, and I'm starting to get these oxys cheap, right? So I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'm buying in bulk, like big bulk. I got people coming to me. I'm fucking fronting people. As long as you pay me when you say you're going to pay me, your credit's good with me. I wouldn't front you no more than like one or two. Because I'm not trying to be out that money if you don't pay me. And it's bad for business, right? And I really didn't like front people. Because, like, let's say I front you something. And now you only have just enough money to either pay me or call somebody else and get what you need to get right. You're not going to call me, right? You're not going to call me and pay me you're gonna call somebody else so you can get right. And I understand that because I would do the same fucking shit. So I'm not stupid. I'm like, look, man, I don't, please come up with the money. If not, and I trusted you, I'd hook you up, but only so much. And if you paid me on time, I would do it again if you came up to a hard time. If you didn't pay me on time and it took me a minute and I had to track you down to get the money, I would still deal with you, but you weren't getting a front anymore. You know what I mean? So there I am, doing shit I shouldn't be doing. Got the seller job, and it's fuck, man. It's gotta be, I don't know, March or something. April. I don't know. It was like right after the first of the year, right? It's been 1 year since I've been to jail, but not been 1 year since I've been out or whatever. And I'm about to go get my driver's license back. I got this new job. Everything's going good, right? I'm about to get my own van. Like, this is about to be sweet, right? I cannot make it to see my PO. Can't. I got no ride. I'm trying to come up with a ride all day. I couldn't get one. I'm in Lorain County, right by Lake Erie. They're in Medina County, right? By the time I found a ride, it was like I had 45 minutes to get there. Like, you didn't have to show up at a certain time. You just had to be there between morning and night, right? Like, from like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m., you had to be there. Somewhere in that block. So by the time I find a ride, I'm like, I'll never make it. So I call my PO like, look, man, but it's going to take my ride 20 minutes to get here, half hour to get here. There's no way I'm making it from my house to Medina, downtown Medina, in 45 minutes. And knock off 20 minutes of that for them to get here, right? No way. I'm like, can I come in tomorrow? He's like, no. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm going to get my license back tomorrow. Let me come in tomorrow. He's like, no. He's like, I tell you what. If you can't make it in, come in Monday morning. We'll talk to the judge. So talk to the judge. You're going to lock me up. You're going to violate me. He's like, maybe not. Not helping out me right now. You know what I mean? And then at this time, my kid's mom was fucking off. She shows up, like, I don't know what was happening, right? Like, her life went pew with her new boyfriend. She shows up with my kids on my doorstep, like, you gotta take them. Like, okay. She's like, until I figure out where I'm moving to, can you please just keep them for a little bit? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I had them all the time anyway. She's like, well, now you gotta have them all the time. Whatever. So I got my little young kids with me. I'm getting my shit together. This guy's giving me a hard time, and he was making me mad. And I was like, you know, motherfucker. And he started saying something, and I hung up on him. Then he called me back, and I was trying to explain to him, and he hangs up on me. So I call him back, and he's like, listen, you can come in or don't, and you can look over your shoulder forever. And I was like, you know what, motherfucker, find me. Click. That was it. Didn't talk to him again. I'm just doing my thing, right? Got my license back. Got my company van. Fucking life's good. I got some customers out there. I got some people I'm dealing with. I'm fucking, you know, I'll talk to this chick. I'm like, sweet. I'm driving to Columbus, Ohio to go do this job with, well, he was like my foreman, right? I got shit set up for when I get home. I gotta go meet this person. I'm gonna make some money. Shit's gonna be good, right? I got everything on me. Shit's good. I got this whole plan out for the night. Driving home from Columbus, I see this Stady turn around. on the highway. Like, I seen his lights come on as he went by me, going the other way. I see him hit the turnaround thing, and he's flying up on me. I look down, I'm speeding. Fuck. So I slow down. He gets up next to me, looks at me, backs up, gets behind me, pulls me over. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. Like, here we go. So, he gets out, he walks up to the van, and I'm talking to him, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You know, I didn't realize I was speeding. I seen you turn around. I slowed down. He's like, I noticed that. He's like, you know, I rolled up next to you and realized you didn't have your seatbelt on. And that's why I decided to pull you over. I was like, so if I'd had my seatbelt on, you would have just kept cruising? He's like, yeah, probably. He's like, you were speeding, but it wasn't excessive, and you slowed down when you saw me, so I was going to let you go, but no seatbelt. I was like, right? He takes my ID, and he's walking away, probably thinking, like, what a nice young man, right? Because I was real nice. I was real polite. As he's walking away, I'm reaching in my pocket, and I got all these oxys in my pocket, and it's throw them out the window and waste all that money. Get caught with them and get more charges. Or fucking eat them. So I ate them. I looked at my supervisor. I was like, you got anything to drink? He was like, no. I was like, fuck it. He was like, dude, what is that? I was like, don't fucking worry about it. And I just chewing this shit up. I'm like, I'm about to go to jail. He's like, what? And right as I'm saying this, the statey's probably in his car reading my charges, seeing that I got a felony warrant, like, this nice guy scum! Oh, I got me one! Right? He gets out of his car, now he's got his gun drawn. Driver, put your hands out the window. Like, oh, here we go, right? Turn off the vehicle, drop the keys out the window, and keep your hands out the window. Like, oh no, right? Open the door from the outside. Keep your hands up and walk backwards to me. Down on your knees, cross your ankles, right? Gets behind me, got his knee in my face, like, shit, right? Handcuffed me up, picks me up, throws me in the car. He's got more guys coming, right? They're talking to my supervisor. Fucking, he drives off in the van. They're like, all right, we'll let you go. We got what we need. Guy gets in the car. I'm talking to him. I'm like, damn, dude, why'd you do me like that? He's like, what? I was like, you didn't have to, like, all that now. Like, you could just came up to the window and been like, all right, you got a warrant. I need you to step out. He's like, let me show you. So he gets on his little computer, runs my shit again. The screen starts flashing, right? Like a big red, the whole screen turns red, and it says, approach with caution. First it said like something about felony warrant, Medina County. Then it's like the whole screen turns red and it says approach with caution. Like, I'm not a bad guy. I just made some bad decisions in my life, you know? So, then his fucking other buddies, statey guys show up and they're like, oh, you college, you a felon, it's a good job, man. Yeah. But this time, the moxie start kicking in, right? Well, he was nice enough to put 2 sets of handcuffs on me behind my back. You know, some bigger guy is a little tight on the shoulders, and they use one. So then he takes me to the Medina County border. Medina County Sheriff comes to pick me up from the Medina County border. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, they're repaving the streets in the neighborhood. They'll like that. So then, the Medina County Sheriff comes. He picks me up. The state's like, yeah, look, man, he's been really super cooperative. He's been real nice, you know. Be nice to him or whatever is what he says to him. I forget what he says because at this time I'm really starting to feel it. Then they take me to the jail, right? And they're having me fill out paperwork and asking me all these questions and you know, do you need a lawyer and blah, blah, blah. You know, do you qualify for a court-appointed attorney? Fill out these paperwork. I can't even focus on the paperwork. Like, my eyes are like, so I'm doing this. Like, I'm counting, trying to add shit up. Really, I'm trying to focus my eyeballs so I can read what I'm reading. finally I pushed the papers away. I was like, can we do this like tomorrow or the next day, because I'm really tired. Like, they're like, all right. So they take me down to the cell. I go to sleep a couple days, right? It's the week before Memorial Weekend. So Monday, no court. Okay? Have to wait a whole week. Next week, I have court. They give me my lawyer. I'm talking to the judge. The judge is like, all right, well, you're being violated, obviously, for absconding, which is, you know, nice way of saying I didn't show up and I just disappeared on him. He's like, you've been gone for, what do you say, 3.5 months, right, is what he says. He's like, that's 110 days. And I was like, no, that's 105. And he was like, excuse me? I was like, sir, that's 105 days. I was like, 30 days in a month is 90 days. Half of a month is 15, so that's 105, not 110. He's like, oh, you don't like my math? It's 110. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I've been here for 2 weeks. He was like, don't care. I was like, what? He's like, don't care. No credit for time served. I was like, you've got to be shitting me, right? And he was like, well, why didn't you come in that day? And I started telling him, and he was like, nope. 88 counties in Ohio, Lorain and Medina County neighbor each other. You could get there faster walking through a cornfield or some shit like that. Like, it was crazy what he was saying. I was like, I live by the lake. He's like, I know where Lorain is. I was like, all right, man. All right. Like, to do it, he's being a dick. And he's your judge the whole time. Like, every PV I had was that guy. He was my judge. He was my judge from the time the case started to the time it was finally over, which we'll get to later. So, yeah, it was fucking crazy. And then back in I go. And we'll end that there with my first probation violation. Now the story I was going to tell you. So, my 2 kids, their mom, she was jealous. She was a jealous chick, and she did not like Jolene, who I had the daughter with that turned out not to be mine, right? And we all worked together at this point, because this was right before I got in trouble. I was still living at the house on East 33rd, and I was still taking the girls here and there on weekends. So my girlfriend at the time, she was working nights at the same place. Well, I was walking by the break room as Jolene was coming out the break room, and she said, hey, are you picking up the girls this weekend? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I did plan on it. So that's what we're talking about. Like, 2-minute conversation. I go my way, she goes her way. Well, that night, old girl decides, like, she's in the office talking to the owner while he's going through the video for the day. Boop, 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 boop. And there's me and Jolene talking on the thing. And you can't see, or you can't hear anything we're saying. You could just see us talking. So you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, right? I got to be up for work at like 5 in the morning because I got to be there at like 6:30. And it's like a 40-minute drive, whatever it is. It was a pretty good drive from where I was living to Litchfield. She gets home like 3 in the morning. Gets in bed, wakes me up. Like, I was like, what? She's like, why are you talking to that bitch? I'm talking to me, bitch. I was like, what are you fucking talking about? She's like, I found you on the camera. I saw you talking to that bitch. Why are you talking to that bitch? I was like, we were talking about me picking up the kids this weekend, right? And I rolled over, and she's like in my ear saying something. I pushed her out of bed. Like, go sleep downstairs then. I gotta get up early for work. Leave me alone. I roll back over. She springs from the floor like a cat. Jumps on my back and starts like gouging my face like this. I was like, what is going on, right? I reach back, grab her legs, like flip her up, spin her around. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I had a hold of like the top of her head. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I got up, and she got up and started swinging. I was like, dude, right? I pinned her back on the ground, and I'm not gonna lie, this is my proudest moment. I smacked her in the back of the head, like fucking quit it. I didn't hit her in the face, and it wasn't even that hard. Well, this turns into like a screaming match, like 3:30 in the morning, waking up the whole house type shit, right? And she's trying to hit me. I had a hold of both her wrists, and she's like pulling back. And she said, let me go. So I let her go. She fell backwards. I think she tripped over one of the kids' toys or something. Hit her head on the wall. Gets up. She's like, you threw me. Oh, I didn't throw you. You told me to let you go. I let you go. You fell down. It's not my fault, right? So then my aunt wakes up, and she's like in there like, hey, calm down, right? This bitch reaches over the top of my aunt and punches me in the face. My aunt starts going, I grabbed up my aunt like, no, because my aunt would have killed her. So I dragged my aunt out of the room. I'm like, come on, let's go downstairs. We're going down the stairs. She's like, I'm calling the fucking cops. You hit me and you threw me down. And I was like, call the fucking cops. I don't care, right? I go outside, sit on the porch, and I'm smoking a cigarette. And it's quiet now, so I'm happy. I see the cop car coming down the road, and he's shining his spotlight on the house numbers, right? I stood up and started waving. Over here. You're looking for me. So the cop pulls up, two cops get out, and they walk up, and they're like, yeah, they got their flashlights. They're like, what's going on? So I tell them everything I told you. Like, sleeping, pushed her out of bed, gouged my face, smacked her in the back of the head. Shouldn't have done it, but I fucking did it because, I don't know, I lost my shit. Like, she tried to rip out my eyeballs, right? I'm like, I'm really sorry. Take me to jail so I can get a good night's sleep, basically, is what I'm trying to tell these guys. One cop's like, you shouldn't have hit her. I'm like, I know. The other cop's like, look at his face. What do you mean, look at his face? So I reach up, I'm like this. There's blood on my hands. Like, she really got, like, dug skin out of my face. Like a tiger, and now I got fucking tiger stripes or fucking whiskers or something and blood. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? They're like, wait here, we're going to go inside. I was like, my aunt's in there. I was like, that bitch punched me over top. My aunt, like, dude, I don't know what the fuck her problem is, but she's crazy. And her boyfriend before, her first baby daddy, told me, good fucking luck. He's like, I never had somebody put their hands on me till that bitch. Like, he's like, we were arguing one time. I went to walk away, like, I'll talk to you in a minute. She punched me in the back of the head. I was like, really? He's like, dude, she's quick to start swinging. I was like, wow. I didn't believe him. I believed him after that. So they go in the house, and I'm waiting outside, like I ain't going nowhere, right? Like, they knew. I was like, I'm fucking, man, I'll get a good night's sleep. I'll miss work tomorrow. I don't even care. They come out the house with her handcuffed, walk her right in front of me. I was like, what's going on? They're like, well, she's gonna go spend the night in jail. She'll have court tomorrow morning, and then she'll probably be let go. If you want to go to court, you know, this is what time she'll be there. I was like, wow. Then the one cop comes back inside and hands me a pamphlet for battered spouses. At the time, she's like 5'4", 5'5", 120 pounds. I'm 6 foot, 250. I'm not a battered spouse. She's just crazy. So we'll leave it at that, because this video has been long fucking enough, right? And then, yeah. So that's the first probation violation. And a little story about, you know, dealing with crazy broads. Don't deal with crazy broads, okay? All right. We'll talk to you guys later. I'll be back really soon. I know it's been almost like a week, so be good.